Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Miss Faye and this is my world. Okay, today's message is he just wants to cheat. He just wants to cheat. Okay, before we get started, ladies, I want to say welcome. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to all of the new viewers. Welcome to all of the new subscribers, and welcome to you who have been with me from the beginning. I really appreciate you. Now, those of you who are new to the channel, I will answer your relationship questions. So at the end of the video, I'll show you a link where you can send in your questions. I will either answer your question privately through the email, or I will share it online with the collective and answer it here. Okay, and it can be your decision. Now, those of you who are interested in these caps, they are now available in my online store. So just go to the description all the way to the bottom and you'll see a link that says online store. Just click on that link and there you have it. Okay, let's dive into this message today. He just wants to cheat. Okay? All right. We did get some letters in today. We're going to dive into our first letter, and then we're going to talk more about this subject. He just wants to cheat. Okay? All right, here we go. This is from a young lady. And she entitled her letter, "Husband of my son's aunt sent me a DM." Okay. My son's paternal family and I have always been close, especially for the sake of my son. I was a teenager, and so was his dad. I became pregnant. His dad passed away, leaving me alone to raise my son. However, his family was always there for us. My son's paternal aunts and I used to be like sisters growing up and still kept in contact through Facebook, and even though my son is an adult. Well, recently, the husband of my son's aunt sent me a friend's request. I approved it since he's always been in my son's life for years. I looked at him as my son's uncle, sort of like my brother. Since the rest of the family is on my friends list, I saw no problem with approving his request. All right. It seems innocent so far. Well, this morning at 1 a.m., he sent me a DM. It was the waving hand emoji, as if he was saying hello. However, I did not respond. I work overnights, so I guess he saw that I was online. There is something else as well. Years ago, he dropped my son off. He came into my home to chat a bit. My son eventually went to play. During this time, he told me there were problems in his marriage. He said that they were growing apart, but he stays for the kids. I felt awkward. I told him everything would be all right and changed the subject. I looked at him as sort of a brother, but I also got a strange vibe from him as well. Like, why was he talking to me about his marital issues? His hugs also used to last way too long. My son's wedding is fast approaching, and I will see them there. I don't want him or his wife to think I am acting funny by not replying to the DM. But then again, I ask myself, what married man DMs a woman at 1 in the morning? Does she even know he DM'd me? Meanwhile, I have yet to reply. I am newly divorced, and I can say men seem to have gotten more confusing in their actions. Okay. All right. Well, his DM could have been innocent. He just waved, because he saw you up and he happened to be up. It could just be innocent. Okay? So don't jump to conclusions that he's trying to cheat on his wife with you. You see? It may have just been friendly. It may not have meant anything. And when you see them, that's the way you ought to approach it. Like it didn't mean anything. When you see him, you can say, oh, I saw your DM. How you doing? Like that, and just keep it moving. If you don't make it anything, it probably won't be anything. This is what I want you to understand. From your letter, it seemed pretty innocent. Now, unless he makes another move on you, I don't think that you should even give this a second thought. Okay? I think the man is just being friendly at this point, and there's really nothing for you to consider. Now, on the flip side of that, if he is hitting on you, okay, because you did bring up in the letter where he came into the house and talked to you about his marital issues. Now, it could be that maybe he just wanted somebody to talk to. Or he could be testing the waters with you just to see if you would play. Okay? For him to send that wave, it could have been that is just to test the water, to see if you would wave back, to see if you could start a communication. Now, he know you work overnight, and he can get up at night while his wife is asleep and carry on with you. This could be it. Not having enough information on who he is, it's difficult for me to say whether he is trying to cheat or whether he is just trying to be friendly. Okay? But for you, just watch it. If I were you, when you are in their company, act normal or make a joke of it. You understand? You can make a joke letting his wife, I would say it right in front of his wife. Oh, I got your DM, but you know what? Hi. Respond to his DM right in front of his wife. Then she'll know that he's DMing you. If he's trying to cheat, that'll shut him down right there. You understand? And I'm saying this because once I had a girlfriend and her husband was extremely fresh. Extremely fresh. And in the beginning, I thought he was just being friendly since I was, a friend of his wife's. As a matter of fact, they were newlyweds. And she would always want to, me to be around, to go out with them or whatever like that. But the thing about it is, whenever I would come around, he would try to find an occasion to touch me, to touch my arm or to touch whatever. You understand? He made his advances very clear. And during those days, I really didn't know how to handle it. Okay? And that's why I'm telling you to shut it down. If this man tries to make another move on you, shut it down because he's only trying to cheat. Okay? And this could be just the very early stages of it. Because the man that was making advances to me, that's what he was doing. He was just cheating and trying to cheat on his wife. As a matter of fact, his wife confided in me sometime later that she caught him with other women, trying to kiss on them, touch on them, and things like. She's caught him doing this. You understand? So you never really know what you're dealing with, especially when it's a friend or a relative that's involved. Okay? But with this fella, call him out in front of his wife. When you see him at the wedding, go up to both of them together and mention something about the DM. Oh, I saw you DM'd me 1 o'clock in the morning. Make a joke of it. 1 o'clock in the morning. And so I thought maybe it was a mistake or something, but, and I didn't answer. But, hey, how you doing? Make a joke of it, but expose him at the same time. That'll shut it down. You understand what I'm saying? If this man was trying to do some cheating on the side with you, that would shut it down right away. Because you are just bringing it up in front of them in an innocent matter. You're not accusing him or anything. You're just, you understand? You're bringing it up in a joking way and letting his wife know at the same time that he DM'd you. Okay? And I guarantee you won't be getting any more DMs. Okay? All right. So I hope that advice helps you on that. Okay? Let's look at another letter here. I'm a 56-year-old woman, and I was with my husband this October will make 22 years, and I just discarded him. In the 22 years, he had discarded me twice during the whole time, and from watching your videos and several others on YouTube, I realized he was evil and a full-blown narcissist. So I told him I wanted a divorce and that I was moving out. Should I mention that he is years younger than me? Well, about the last year, he has been playing this PC game, which is a computer game, who he met some women and was playing with on the game, who he was love bombing the past few months, while in the same house as me, right under my nose. Even though he knew we were breaking up and moving out, he had already started a relationship with this person before I had even decided to leave. Yeah, because if he is a narcissist, he cannot be without supply. So he's already setting up the new supply. You understand? This is what's going on. He was not looking for a job or an apartment. He quit his job and blamed it on his high blood pressure. So I had a gut feeling something was not right. So I began to snoop, and what I found was very hurtful, beyond repair, disgusting, and disturbing. I found this out only after we both had moved on, only cause I reached out to the woman, and she called me, and most of the stuff she told me, I know she wasn't lying, because she would not have known some of the things discussed. Okay, so what you found out, that he was already cheating with another woman. And so when the woman called you, she let you know that she was with your man, and she discussed things to let you know that she was really with him. But every time I would confront him about it, about the game and coming to bed at 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6 a.m., He would get very angry and defensive and even got violent with me one time. Okay, let me understand this. He met this woman on some kind of game, okay? And he has been communicating with this woman on the game. Now, the woman called you. Okay, here we go. I found this out only after we both had moved. Only cause I reached out to the woman. And she called me. And most of the stuff she told me, I know she wasn't lying. Okay, so you reached out to the woman. You got the snooping and you reached out to the woman. Okay, and then the woman called you back and confirmed, yeah, she has been communicating with your man. Okay, she probably didn't know anything about you. Okay, and he even got violent with me one time. It's too much to even go on about, but I am very angry because I should have known better to take him back after the second discard. I feel a lot of hate in my heart toward him. I went no contact, as I believe is a full-blown narcissist. I just want the pain to stop. I want to heal my body due to stress and trauma from the abuse. My mind, my heart, my soul, please help. Okay, yes, you have suffered from narcissistic abuse. When a man discards you, when he leaves you, for whatever reason, never take the man back. Never take him back, because he's only going to repeat what he did to you the first time and may do it worse the second time. This is why I never encourage you to take a man back, period, whether he is a narcissist or not. Never take him back. Now, it seems that you learned your lesson to never take the narcissist back, but whenever you decide to get into another relationship, if he walks away from you and the relationship breaks up for any reason, never go back to it. Never go back to a person who has hurt you, whether you believe the person is a narcissist or not. Don't go back, because you will repeat the cycle with them all over again. See, there's a lesson you were supposed to learn with this narcissist that you didn't learn. You didn't learn it. And that's why you repeated it. Looks like you repeated your cycle with this particular narcissist twice. You see, the narcissist cannot go without supply, period. And that's the only reason that the narcissist is with you in the first place, for your energy, for your resources. Whatever you have, the narcissist will drain you of it. Okay? Now, you say you want to heal. The only way that you're going to heal from this and break the soul tie that keeps you bonded to him is through your spiritual journey. You need to start it. This is spiritual, and the only way to break this soul tie is through spirituality. So, in the description again, there's a link to start your spiritual awakening. And during your spiritual awakening, this will help you to break this soul tie, this bond that you have. It's very important to do that. And anytime you're in a relationship that doesn't work out, you need to heal from it. Okay? And if you had sex during this relationship, you need to break the soul tie before you can be free of it. You understand? When you have sex with these people, it forms a bond. And many times that's why you are drawn back to the person. If the person wants you back, they can manipulate you and bring you back to them through a soul tie. And you want to break it? You can only break it through your spiritual awakening. Okay? That's how you break the soul tie. Now, I did get another letter about the soul tie. And while we're talking about the soul tie, I wanted to bring in this letter so I can answer both of you at the same time. Okay, here you go. You say, I have heard about soul ties before through church via a visiting evangelist. They didn't touch on the subject much as they want you to buy their books. Okay, I can tell you about the soul tie. I've heard you speak about soul ties and bonding forming every time you sleep with someone. I believe it. Yeah, it's very true. In fact, the sexual experience was developed to bond to the other person. You understand? But the intent was that you bond with your mate, a mate that you stay with for life. You understand? It's a bonding process when you have sex with somebody. You see? And it's very irresponsible for you to go around and just having sex with any and everybody, bonding with all of these energies. It's not good for your health or your well-being. All right? My question is, why does it mostly seem to happen to women? It doesn't. It happens to men too. They bond to you sexually. Okay? Now, let's look at this when you ask why it seems to only happen to women. Okay. Women are emotional creatures. We are very emotional. Okay? So when we bond with a man, our emotions are all in it. You understand? All in it. Our heart is involved in it. Now, a man, it takes longer for a man to bond with you. A man doesn't necessarily get emotional when the sexual bond happens. You see, he's more logical than emotional. All right? So that's why a man can bond with you and his emotions are not really showing, but he will manipulate you through that bond. Okay? There's a difference. There is a difference. Now, there are some men who are true, blue, honest, good men. And they bond with a woman. I'm going to tell you. And their hearts can be involved in it. See, all men are not the same when it comes to this bond. When a man is ready to commit to a woman, and when he bonds with her, his heart is in it. Okay? Because he wants that commitment. He wants that. Okay? But there are many men out here who just want the sex. So they do the bonding with you, but they use the bond to manipulate you. And that's the difference, ladies. And that's where you get hurt. Because when you bonded with him and he's manipulating you, it's deceitful. It's hurtful because there's no love in it. Okay? There's no love in it. The man does not fall in love with you just because you have a soul tie with him. But you may feel like you love him. You see, it could be very one-sided. And that's why it's very important that you don't go around creating these soul ties with any and everybody. Make sure that the man is true to you, that you can trust him, that he really loves you before you decide to have sex with him. It's as easy as that. Okay? Now, You say, they mostly seem to be the ones getting badly hurt. You're talking about the women. Taking a long time to heal, in need of counseling, and sometimes never coming back the same, having to reinvent themselves, like someone who suffered amnesia. Well, they suffered, if they were with a narcissist, they suffered trauma. And if he wasn't a narcissist and he just used you for sex, now you're hurt because it was like a one-night stand. He has no more need for you. Okay? But you feel a bond toward him that's emotional. There is a soul tie there. You see? And it's more emotional. But because he is not an emotional creature, he will manipulate the energy in another way. You see? And the other way is just to take advantage and use you. Okay? So what I'm trying to say is that men can use this energy a little differently than women. Okay? Now, you say that most men, on the other hand, are off to a new adventure, seemingly unscathed. Well, because they handle the energy differently. You see, just because a man moves on to something else doesn't mean that he's done with you. It just means he may be done with you for the moment, but he still feels your energy and can still manipulate you so that he can come back to you. Do you understand? He is just using this soul tie differently and manipulating you through it. Okay? I once heard a guy say that women are like buses. There's one every 15 minutes. I guess this allows them to be like children in a candy store. It is because there are way more women in the world now than available men. Well, okay. All right. Yeah, okay. This is what you say. But I kind of heard that the other way around about the men. That the men are like buses. And, if you miss one, don't worry, another one is coming. But ladies, let me tell you something about that. Take your time with these men. Just because one relationship doesn't work out, don't run out here trying to find another relationship. Okay? Ladies, I say, to respect yourself. To love yourself. Don't be desperate and feeling like you need to settle just to have a man. Now, I know that these words, they fall harsh on some women's ears because you don't want to wait. Why should you wait? Well, what's wrong with you going out here and just finding yourself a man? I'll tell you what's wrong with that. Number one, when you approach men, you have given your power to the man. And the man feels like, you understand, he has the power over you just by that act, by you approaching him. You understand? If you just wait and allow the man to approach you, then you still have your power to make the choice whether you want this man in your life or not. Okay? But if you approach the man, then he has the power to choose you, whether he wants you or not. And many times, men will take advantage of you when you approach them first. They would take advantage of that because in their minds they think, oh yeah, she wants me. She wants me and I can do with her whatever I want. because she wants me just that bad. You understand, ladies? And this is why the men drag you. This is why they do it. Because you give them your power. You see? You approach him, and then the next thing, you'll feel like you need to satisfy him sexually or whatever he wants, whatever he needs to keep him. And there you are, off to the races to try to hold on to this man. Ladies, don't put yourself out there like that. Don't do it. Value who you are. Know your worth. Know who you are. And it will shine when the man sees you. When he sees you. I'm going to tell you, men usually watch a woman for a while before they approach you. Now, these are men who may be serious. Some of them may not be serious. But if they watch you for a while before they approach you, many times they may have good intentions. You see, because they took that time to see who you were. Men who are responsible feel like they have something to lose if they choose the wrong woman. Okay? And this is why they take their time. Okay? They're not going to just run up on you out of the blue and try to seduce you. That's not the man for you, if you get that kind of man. You understand? These type of men are no good. All right, ladies. Know your value. Know your worth. And don't allow anyone to deceive you. Now, the title of the message today was, He Just Wants to Cheat. Now, I hope you understand this message, because there are a lot of men out there who are in committed, and I put this in quotes, loving relationships. But sometimes men just feel like they want to cheat. And they get away with it because they can. And to a man, you see, he'll tell you right off, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything because his heart is not involved in his cheating. But the thing about it is, it damages your heart when you find out. You see, it's hurting you. That's why if a man cares about you, he won't do it. So ladies, the other thing is, if you find out or suspect your man is cheating, don't go after the woman. Don't go after, don't call her, don't write her, don't call her names, don't do anything. Go after your man. He is the one that is doing it. And I'm telling you, many times the woman on the other end doesn't know anything about you. They think the man's single. I'm telling you, these men do this all the time. And just like in that last letter where the man met women on a game, I guess on a video game or whatever kind of game it is, and he's, starting up situationships. You know what? I'm not going to call them relationships. I'm calling them situationships. Because if he truly is a narcissist, he needs supply. So naturally, he's just going to keep that rolling. Not saying that he's going to end up with any of those women, but they are supplying him with the energy that he needs right now if he's not getting it from the woman that he's with. You understand? So there are a number of reasons why men cheat. Okay, but ladies, guard yourself as much as you possibly can. And go for your healing. You can't stop a man from cheating. If he's a cheater, he's going to cheat. That's just the way it is. but you can guard yourself from being so hurt by it, especially if you find yourself in a situation that you need to stay in this situation, knowing that he's cheating or whatever, but you want to be happy. So what I'm going to tell you is look for your own happiness, you see, and your peace. And to do that is to get on your spiritual path. Okay? Ladies, I hope that this message helps you today, and I really hope that you understand. Now, those of you who have questions that you would like for me to answer, here is the link. Send your questions to MissFaye'sWorld@hotmail.com. That's MissFaye'sWorld@hotmail.com. And try to keep your letters to one page. Just summarize your situation and ask the question. And if you prefer that I answer your question privately through the email, just state it at the very top of your letter, and this way it won't be overlooked. I want to thank you all for supporting this channel. Thank you all for your comments. Thank you all for your letters. And a special thank you to those of you who leave a donation. I really appreciate all of you. I wish you all the best and all the love and happiness. And I really hope to see you next time.